Good evening. This is All India Radio and I'm Tanvi Taneja with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitches for investments in manufacturing of electric vehicles for better mobility, increased economic growth and cleaner environment. President Ramnath Kovind invites companies from Czech Republic for joint ventures with Indian firms in defence sector. Delhi police arrests 2 suspected terrorists associated with Islamic State. BJP's national executive meeting to be held tomorrow in the capital. In sports, Serena Williams and Japan's Naomi Osaka to clash in women's singles final of US Open. And in cricket, England off to a solid start on day 1 of the final test against India at the Oval. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pitched for investments in manufacturing of electric vehicles and smart charging facilities, as he emphasized that better mobility can boost growth. Addressing the Global Mobility Summit MOVE in New Delhi today, Mr. Modi said, better mobility reduces the burden of travel and transportation and can boost economic growth. Mr. Modi said, mobility is already a major employer and can create the next generation of jobs.
We want to drive investments across the value chain, from batteries to smart charging to electric vehicle manufacturing. India's business leaders and manufacturers are now poised to develop and deploy breakthrough battery technology.
Mr. Modi asserted that mobility powered by clean energy is the most powerful weapon in the fight against climate change. Mr. Modi stressed on the need to widely use common public transport. He said the focus must also go beyond cars to other vehicles.
We want to build India as a driver in electric vehicles. We will soon put in place a stable policy regime around electric and other alternative fuel vehicles. Policies will be designed as a win-win for all and enable huge opportunities in the automotive sector.
The Prime Minister said common public transport must be the cornerstone of mobility initiatives. He said his vision for the future of mobility in India is based on 7 C's: common, connected, convenient, congestion-free, charged, clean and cutting edge. Speaking at the summit, CEO Tata Motors, Günther Büchig, said India is a rising star in world economy.
I actually thank NITI Aayog for taking the lead in organizing this event and providing us a platform to discuss this important subject. India, as a shining star amongst the global economies, has at the same point of time a unique opportunity to be the rising star in the future of mobility.
Chairman of Toyota, Takeshi Uchiyamada, stressed on the need for hybrid vehicles for lowering carbon emissions.
Toyota Environmental Challenge 2050, which we set in October 2015, we aim to reduce average new vehicle CO2 emissions by 90%, and our objective is to have zero CO2 emissions.
In his introductory remarks, NITI Aayog Vice Chairman Dr. Rajiv Kumar said India will play a key role in shaping global mobility.
This global summit reflects our effort to play an effective role in using modern mobility for shaping a more eco-friendly and more people-friendly global future. India will play a major role in shaping the global mobility movement going forward.
Addressing a session on reinventing public transport, Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said improving public transport is the government's priority and road infrastructure is being strengthened. In his keynote address at the summit, Minister of State for Civil Aviation Jayant Sinha favoured carpooling. He said there should be maximum asset utilization in terms of transport mobilization. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked American investor community to invest in India following various reforms undertaken by the government. He was interacting with board members of United States India Business Council who called on him in New Delhi today. Mr. Modi also called for greater people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. The visiting board members briefed the Prime Minister on the outcome of the India Idea Forum held in Mumbai earlier this week. They expressed their desire to prepare a roadmap to achieve the target of $500 billion in bilateral trade and expand meaningfully their CSR activities in India. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. President Ramnath Kovind has called upon the Czech Republic companies to take advantage of opening of the defence manufacturing sector in India and set up joint ventures to produce for the domestic market as well as for the rest of the world. Speaking after the delegation-level talks in Prague today, Mr. Kovind said there is immense potential for India-Czech defence collaboration to meet the growing requirements of the Indian defence industry. Our correspondent covering the President's visit has filed this report.
In the joint statement issued after the meeting between President Kovind and his Czech counterpart Miloš Zeman, the two sides expressed desire to further strengthen the strategic aspects of the relationship between the two countries. They also condemned terrorism and called upon all countries to deny safe haven to terrorists and work to disrupt terrorist infrastructure, financing and their cross-border movements. Rajesh Jha, AIR News, Prague, Czech Republic.
The two countries finalized 5 MOUs, including in the fields of laser technology, exemptions from visa requirements for diplomatic passport holders, and work plan for support of Indo-Czech projects in diverse areas of science and technology. The two countries also decided to initiate cooperation for peaceful use of nuclear energy. Delhi Police's special cell has arrested 2 suspected terrorists associated with the so-called Islamic State in Jammu and Kashmir. Briefing reporters DCP Special Cell P.S. Kushwaha said they are natives of Shopian district of South Kashmir. He said Delhi was being used as a transit point and they had no plans for the national capital.
We have arrested 2 terrorists around 10:45 p.m. yesterday from Jama Masjid bus stop near Lal Kila area. They have been identified as Parvez Alam Lone and Jamshed Jahur Pal. We have also recovered 2 pistols, 10 cartridges and 4 mobile phones from them.
In Chhattisgarh, 19 Maoists were arrested by security forces in Sukma district of Bastar division today. The police claimed that the arrested ultras were involved in an IED blast that took place on the 1st of this month in Sukma district. 1 security jawan was killed and 3 others were injured in the incident. The arrested Maoists were presented before Jagdalpur court, which sent them to jail. BJP's national executive meeting will be held tomorrow in New Delhi. Briefing media today in New Delhi, BJP national spokesperson Shahnawaz Hussain said this will be the first meeting of the executive since the passing away of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
सुबह 10 बजे से 2 बजे तक हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष श्री अमित शाह जी के अध्यक्षता में राष्ट्रीय पदाधिकारी की बैठक होगी। फिर 3 बजे से राष्ट्रीय कार्य समिति की बैठक शुरू होगी जिसमें माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और पार्टी के सारे वरिष्ठ नेता उसमें शामिल होंगे।
The central government's initiative for soil health cards has helped farmers of Rajasthan to reduce their cost of cultivation and increase production. Here is the ground report from our Jaipur correspondent.
More than 91 lakh soil health cards in first phase and around 45 lakh cards in second phase have been distributed. Joint Director of Agriculture Department Ajay Pachori told that soil health cards have reduced the demand of फर्टिलाइजर्स।
सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड योजना के अंदर विभिन्न फसलों में संतुलित खाद और उर्वरक के उपयोग करने की लिखित सलाह दी जाती है। इसके आधार पर किसानों ने खेती करना शुरू किया है और एक मोटे तौर पर पूरे राज्य में हमारे पिछले वर्ष उर्वरक की खपत में कमी आई है।
A farmer of Hanumangarh district in the Dhaka told that now he is using lesser amount of pesticides.
2 साल पहले ये राष्ट्रीय मृदा स्वास्थ्य योजना के तहत खेत की मिट्टी की जांच करवाई थी। वहाँ से मुझे सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड बना कर दिया गया। इससे खेत में किस प्रकार से कौन सी फसल में कब कितनी दवा डालनी है तो ये जानकारी मुझे दी गई और मिट्टी के हिसाब से दवा प्रयोग करने से फसलों की क्वालिटी में सुधार हुआ है, साथ ही फसल की लागत भी कम हुई है।
This scheme is helping to improve soil fertility as well as earning of farmers. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In business news, The benchmark domestic indices closed with gains today amid negative global stocks. The rupee also recovered from its record low level against the dollar. We have a report.
Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange gained 0.38% or 147 points to 38,390. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange was also up 0.45% or 52 points to 11,589. In secondary indices at the BSE Mid-Cap climbed 1.15% while the Small Cap ended up 0.55%. The rupee today recovered 26 paise to 71 rupees and 73 paise against the US dollar. Arjun Chaudhary with Sanjay Kumar Singh for AIR News.
Sports Minister Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore has said the government is connecting the villages to Olympic podiums through schemes like Khelo India, as 90% of Indian athletes are from rural backgrounds. In an exclusive interview to AIR News, Mr. Rathore said the centre is focusing on training, travel, coaches, scientific support for the athletes. He said athletes are getting pocket allowance.
Every step of the way, their entire training, travel, coaches, scientific support is all paid for and covered. And we have gone one step beyond that. The Prime Minister said that let's have something where pocket allowances of these athletes is also covered. So from 2017 September, all the athletes in Target Olympic Podium, which is about 200 of them, are getting 50,000 rupees per month as pocket allowance. No questions asked how they spend that money.
The minister expressed happiness over the success of girl athletes in the recently held Asian Games. The interview can be heard immediately after this bulletin on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies. In tennis, Serena Williams has entered the US Open women's singles final. She defeated Latvia's Anastasia Sevastova 6-3, 6-0 in the semis. Serena will face Japan's Naomi Osaka in the final tomorrow. A victory for Serena will equal Margaret Court's record of 24 Grand Slam singles titles. In men's singles, former champions Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic will bid to set up a 53rd meeting in the final. Both Nadal and Djokovic will be playing their semi-final matches against their rivals late tonight. Nadal faces Argentina's Juan Martín del Potro as he aims for an 18th Grand Slam title. Djokovic plays against Japan's Kei Nishikori in the semi-final. The men's doubles final will also be played tonight. In cricket, England were 134 for 4 against India on the opening day of the 5th and final test match at the Oval in London when reports last came in. Ravindra Jadeja and Ishant Sharma claimed 1 wicket each while Jasprit Bumrah scored 2 wickets. Earlier, England opted to bat after winning the toss. Cook, who has announced retirement after the 5th test, was given a guard of honour to mark his final test. The retiring England opener was also given a standing ovation from a full house Oval crowd. 2 changes have been made in the Indian playing 11. Ravindra Jadeja comes in place of injured Ravichandran Ashwin. All-rounder Hanuma Vihari makes his test debut, replacing Hardik Pandya. England has taken an unassailable 3-1 lead in the 5-match test series. The group stage football match between Maldives and Sri Lanka in the ongoing South Asian Football Federation Cup ended in a draw in Dhaka today. Both the teams remained goalless. India defeated Sri Lanka 2-0 on Wednesday in their opening encounter. India will play next against Maldives on Sunday. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitches for investments in manufacturing of electric vehicles for better mobility, increased economic growth and cleaner environment. President Ramnath Kovind invites companies from Czech Republic for joint ventures with Indian firms in defence sector. Delhi police arrests 2 suspected terrorists associated with Islamic State. BJP's national executive meeting to be held tomorrow in the capital. In sports, Serena Williams and Japan's Naomi Osaka to clash in women's singles final of US Open. And in cricket, England off to a solid start on day 1 of the final test against India at the Oval. And for details of these stories and more, you can log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.